What's wrong? Oh, you have a chemistry essay to do? Yes. Do you have the exam on your phone? Because I think we're on to section B for it. I'll open it up here anyways if you don't have it. Maths for engineering. So we did section A. I wonder what the first one, section B, is. Probably algebra. Usually, but not always, algebra. Come on, open. There we go. Right. Wait. This looks familiar. Are we sure we didn't do this one?
We did this.
We did this one, didn't we?
I think we did this one.
No. This we didn't.
No, this one not for sure.
Yeah. For sure not the rest of this. I don't think we did two. I think I don't know now.
We finished the...
Can you go to B1?
We finished the first one.
Yeah, the first one's definitely finished.
The first part of this is definitely finished.
Yeah.
Maybe the second part.
Don't... Tell you what, I'm not 100% sure, I'll just do the first part A here now, and then you can continue from B then, because I don't think you've done B. Okay, so I'm going to do A for you, because maybe you just remember it because you started it or something like this, so I'll just give you the answer then. Okay, so a block of metal is heated in a furnace until it reaches 1000 Celsius, and it's then brought out to cool. The temperature of the metal is given by this formula. So we have then theta temperature equals 1000 EKT. It's actually a bad example that they wrote because they should really have had something like plus 20 at the end, but it doesn't matter because it actually makes it a bit easier for you. The temperature was 780 after 8 minutes. So the temperature is 780 after 8 minutes. 780 and T is 8. So find the K. Right, so if we put that in there, we get 780 equals 1000 E8K. Yeah? Now, in a second we'll need the calculator. So, if I divide both sides by 1000, I get 0.780 equals E8K. And now, I don't know what's happening here. We put the log on both sides, and that log cancels the E. So now we have, hey, 8K. What's the time there? Cutting it fine, Iad, cutting it fine. Me no likey. Right, 8K equals log 0.780. I hope that coffee was worth it. Divide by 8. Got a calculator? Calculator? Is that a yes? Calculator? Well, I've got a calculator. Yeah, now does it say anything about significant figures? It doesn't, so we'll go with minus 0.0311. Any idea what the units are for the K? What unit's that? A unit, SI unit. No. I'll give you a hint. Think about the half-life formula. This is like A, E, lambda, T. Decay constant, yeah. What's the unit for the... Yeah, so in this context it's per minute, yeah, per unit time. So it's per minute then. Yeah. Now, in fact, for this question, I know for a fact that they didn't give you any marks for writing that. So don't worry about that. You should have the units in, but don't worry. And the next one is pretty easy. Find the derivative of 28. So the derivative is just d theta, dt, bring down the power, and then just keep the power there. And the time is 28. You remember the derivative of AEBX is AB, EBX, the B just comes down. So, this of course would be in degrees per minute, because the unit. So if I just take out the old calculator here, and it's going to be 1000 times my K times my E to the power of minus my K times, not minus my K times 28. And minus is there for a reason, and it'll be minus 13.0 if I round to 3 significant figures. Yes. This means after 28 minutes, it's losing 13 Celsius a minute. This is the rate of decline of the temperature. So this question, the advantage for you is because you do physics, it should really remind you of the stuff you do in physics too. Yeah? So that was part A. I said I wanted to do that for you. And then you can take it up here then from part B now. Interesting. This question, they made a huge mistake on it, a huge mistake. It's not worth 5 marks, and the reason they made such a mistake is the way they solved it in the marking scheme was extremely difficult. They turned this problem into a quadratic when they didn't need to. You could still keep it as a linear. So this is why I got 5 marks. So they incorrectly gave too many marks for this. It's actually much easier than it looks, which is good news for you. So both these questions are just linear problems, which we can try now. My hint for number 2 is obviously divide both sides by 2. It would be foolish to put the 2 up to the power, because if you put the 2 up to the power, then you change this into a quadratic, which is what they did in the Markov scheme, foolishly. Obviously, the best thing to do at the start here is divide both sides by 2. Yeah. Okay, try B now. It should only take you a couple of minutes. It's an 8. Yes. You get the first part? Second part? Easy. First part you get?
Yeah. If I wasn't the exam, I would get it.
Yeah, because people don't think straight in the exam. Their mind goes a little bit. Yes. Yes, I know. I understand. People are like, oh, 2. I'll bring the 2 up here. And yes. This is normal. Your brain doesn't work properly in exams. This is a normal situation for everybody. We got the first part finished, and what about the second part? Okay. So what did we get for the first part? Ah, yes, but they wanted a number. Give me a number. No, what's it?
Third?
Yep. Yeah, a third. Yeah. Now, I'd be interested to know how you got that, because there's a couple of ways to do it. So what did you do?
Switch to power.
Yes, I think that would just be fine. So you have x equals log 8 2, which equals 1 over log 2 8. Is this what you mean? When you said switch or something else?
No, I switched it to just...
Oh, I know what you mean. Change it into a power problem, yeah. So this is equal to 3. Or you change this into 8 to what power makes 2, and it's a third.
Yeah.
Because it's a cube root then, yeah. Both are fine. Okay, part 2. 2 log 3 x plus 2 equals 2. So log 3 x plus 2 equals 1. So 3 to the power of 1 equals x plus 2, so x equals 1 then. Shocking for 5 marks, really. If you look at the Markov scheme, you'll see what they did was they made it quadratic. They got 2 answers, they rejected one of the answers, and they accepted x equals 1. We don't have to worry about that when we do it this way.
I would have done that, to be honest.
The same as with Sharif, the quadratic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just because.
Yes. Yeah, because the 2's there.
Yeah.
And you want to do something with the 2, and like, I know what to do with this. It goes up here. Yep. And that's the person who wrote the Markov scheme did the same thing. It's surprising.
Can you go on to the...
Yeah. You got this answer? Okay. Continue. No, you need a minute? Okay. Right. What are we dealing with in C here? They give us this angle, they give us this side, and they give us the area.
We did this in with the science. The same.
That's why it looks familiar, possibly. Yeah. We either did the exact same numbers. Yeah, actually, that's probably why it looks so familiar.
180 equals 4b cosine 30.
180 or 108?
The area.
Yeah. 108.
4b cosine 30.
Yeah, so we did this one in the revision class with the science students, yeah. So it means that in their science exam, they got this question as well. Yeah, okay.
D, we didn't do D.
We didn't do D?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll finish this question by doing D. P is such that sine P is this number. Find the value of cos P. And please note, it says the exact value. And for these questions, when they say the exact value, although it's not clear this is what they mean, but I'm telling you from past experience, what they mean for these problems is do not find the angle P. So the question should really have said, if sine P equals this, find cos P without finding the angle P.
So they mean the derivative, right?
Not derivative, no. Something else.
Sine squared.
Yeah. You could do sine squared plus cos squared equals 1
Okay.
as a way to do it. But in fact, there's another way to do it as well. Which you can think, yeah. So, whichever. But in both cases, don't find the P. Just find the cos of P. Used up all your energy on the weekend? Nothing left for this week?
Not if we do the past papers 4 years. Isn't it?
Definitely. Maybe it's just because it feels like there's more in the maths than the physics. More topics. Because when you think about the physics, we think about it as 6 topics, like 6 parts. But the maths is kind of more than just 6 parts, so maybe that's the reason.
100 lessons.
Yeah. Well, both are really 100 lessons, but the maths feels like more than 100 lessons, and the physics probably feels like less than 100 lessons. Okay, did we get an answer here? Now, you don't have to do this, but I think it is really good just to start it by making sure you know if your answer should be positive or negative. So, whoops, we're told the P is acute, which means it's in this quadrant, which means both sine P and cos P, and in fact tan P, all 3 of them are positive. You're also told that sine P equals 12 over 37. So that means if I draw, I think I'll do it by drawing a triangle. So this is 12 and this is 37, and from Pythagoras it's 37 squared minus 144 square root that 35. Great. So then you get cos P equals 35 over 37, which is positive, so you're happy with that.
And if it's not, we have...
Yeah, if they said in the question P was, let's say, obtuse, which puts it here, then you can still do it the same way, but your sign will be wrong, because in this quadrant cos should be a negative. So just put a minus in the answer. Yeah, that's it, yeah. There is a plus minus here, and you don't really appreciate the plus minus when you draw the triangle. However, you fully appreciate the plus minus when you do it using the formula sine squared plus cos squared equals 1 because you're introducing a square root, which reminds you that there's a plus minus possibility here, and you kind of overlook that fact when you do it using the triangle. Because it's kind of a bit weird, but when you got the 35 here, it could have been minus 35 insofar as the triangle could have been drawn to the left instead of to the right. So I think maybe it's easier to be doing these this way. But because it's acute, I didn't need to worry about that. Yes? Okay. Do you need to write that down, or you have that? Is that it? Okay. Musharif, did we do this one with the science students? Can you check your notebook? This one. You're sure about that? Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I remember. I did this one with the science students when you weren't in the class. That's why I remember it. Huh? Because I had a class with the science students. No, before our class together with the science students. So I remember this one. That's why you don't remember it. Okay. So here, this is practical problems of calculus from semester 1. You have a box here. This side is x, this side is 3x, and this side is h. And the first part is to calculate the volume. And you notice what's missing from the formula for the volume? There's no h in it, because volume should be x by 3x by h. However, I think the first thing you actually need to do is work out what the h is, because you're told the total length of all three sides is 480. So I think what they mean by that is x plus 3x plus h is 480. Can you get the h from that? You can. It'll have x in it. Yeah. So the first part isn't really listed there. The first part is to get the h, and then using that, get the volume. Okay. And then after that, how do we find the x that makes this a maximum? Derivative is equal to 0. And then how do you show it's a maximum?
If it's negative.
If what's negative?
The value of
the second derivative is negative, yeah? How can you find the volume? Well, once you have the x, you just put it back in here to get the volume. And then the b part is something else. Okay, so how about we do the a part first, and then I'll give you the answer. You did it in your mind?
Okay.
You can't? No, I don't believe that. Really? Okay. I have trouble believing this. Because you just told me what to do.
Yeah.
It says second derivative negative.
I'll find the
It says the total length is 480. So x plus 3x plus h.
4x equal plus h equal. Then h equal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then what?
The h will be in terms of x. That's the best you can do. Then to get the volume will be x by 3x by the answer you have for h.
H will be in terms of N.
Yeah. You should have a formula that says H equals something to do with X.
Minus 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
120 minus X. That's it? I can put that like in an equation, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, put that in for H in the equation for the volume. Yeah. You've managed to match up and got the formula for volume the same way that they have it there. Now, can you pause for a moment? I don't think their English is very clear here, and I'm now wondering about this whole total length business.
Isn't it like multiplied?
Well, this is now what I'm wondering. The total length is 480, but I wonder. No,
Is it adding or multiplying?
no, it is adding, but I'm wondering if you should be adding all the lengths, all the edges, but that's not really what the word length means, because length means how long.
Yeah.
So it's like the length of this length here and length here. But I don't know if you can get this here, because I see this is a 120.
The 120 is 480 divided by 4.
Oh, so you did get 120.
Yeah.
So it does match up with this.
Well, I didn't get that, but I know where the 120 is from.
Okay.
But if we divide it for 80
Yeah,
by
actually.
something, then also the 4 extra.
Yeah, that should be.
They factored out something in the final formula, I think. The 3x squared, but I think it was half. Because
Maybe it's all the lengths added together. You know, the x plus the 3x here and here, plus 3x plus x plus h plus h plus h plus h. Do you know what I mean? Like all the edges added together. But that's really bad use of English, because then they should really have said the total length of all edges, not the total length of all the sides. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this too much, or maybe the person who wrote the question didn't think about it enough.
do you have marking?
I'll check the marking scheme, yeah. But when I say side, I mean like this. So if I said how long the side is, I mean like this. So that's the length of one side. The length at the back will be the same as this one. So the length of the next side, which is of interest, is this one. But that length is the same as the one on the opposite side. And then the last one here, this length here, this one is the same as this. I'm drawing something wrong here. It's at the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
This one here, yeah. But I think what they mean to say is the length of all the edges. There's 4 here, there's 4 at the back, and then there's 4 here. Let me do just the first part for you, okay? So, if I look at the picture, I have an X plus, now how many X's do I have here?
4.
I think just 2, no you're right, very good. 1 above and then 2 here. So I have 4 of those. And how many 3X's do I have? 4 of those. And then how many H's do I have?
4.
And that should equal, we think 480. If I divide by 4, yeah, so then volume would equal X by 3X by H. Yeah. So they really should have said it more like this, all the edges. But
It's kind of the same.
it'll be off by a factor of 4 though. So like if you did it the way I thought it was, your answer would probably have been like 4 times off. You okay with
Yeah.
that?
I should have divided here by 4. I
Yeah.
what you're saying here,
Right, can we go back to the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, in real life, if you were in the exam, it simply would have meant that you had trouble proving this, which was for 3 marks, but that does not prevent you answering the next part, which is the maximum, which is to make the derivative here 0.
Okay.
Now there's 2 ways to get the derivative here. Any ideas? 2 ways to get this derivative. I mean, 2 things you could do first.
I can multiply first and then do it.
Yeah, that's one way, which is probably what I would do, expand and then differentiate. Or, if you wanted to,
Multiply them.
yeah, what's that called? No, the other one. Yeah, product. You could use the product rule if you wanted, but I think just go ahead, expand it. What type of equation will you get when you expand it? And when you differentiate? And how many solutions? 2. So you need to figure out which one is the maximum and which one is the minimum, which you get with the second derivative, which is actually the next part, part 3. Four seems a believable number, yes. And could you show us maximum too?
You get 720x minus 36x squared. Then raise it.
720. 720 over 36, which is it?
That's the first
Yeah.
derivative, yeah?
And the second derivative you have?
720 minus 72x
Yeah.
equals
Equals
0. 72x equals 720. Yes, x equals 10.
And then once you have the x, you can put it back in here to get the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's minimum because
No, he wanted it to be negative, so it's a maximum.
the volume, not x.
So we set it equal to 0.
Now you got the positive one.
For the second derivative? Okay, let's see what's going on then. Right. As you were saying, I shall multiply it out. So that's 360 x squared, right?
Yes.
Minus 12x cubed. And the derivative here is 720x minus 36x squared, which equals 0. So if we take out 36x, that's 20 minus x.
You need the second derivative.
No, I need the first derivative equal to 0 to find the maximum. So, wait, I said x is 10.
I thought it was the second derivative.
Oh, no. First derivative equals 0. So x equals 20.
Okay.
Now the second derivative equals 720 minus 72x, and I put x is 20, so this comes out to be minus 720, which is a negative, which makes it a max. And finally, I put that in here to get the volume in the end. So volume is 3 times 20 squared, which is 400. And then a 120 minus 80 is 40, isn't it? 120 minus 80 is 40. 4 times 4 is 16, times 3 is 48, with a triple zero. So 48,000, and the unit is cm. And that's everything for this part. Did everybody make the second derivative equal to 0? First derivative always. Second derivative is just for checking if it's a max or a min. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at the b part now.
Can you take back?
Okay.
Do you have this thing?
No.
No?
No.
Huh?
Yeah, because what's going on? I'm doing physics labs with the January students. So was there an extra chemistry arranged for you or something?
Yeah.
What's it?
No, you can't go.
Not today,
You don't have.
That's tomorrow. Today as well? Instead of...
Why did they cancel the...
Come on, they cancel so much.
Why did they cancel?
Which class?
Unfortunately, there's only one physics teacher.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing labs with January students, there is no other physics teacher. But I said it was okay because we're finished. We're just doing revision.
Yeah.
We're going through the exam, you know. But if in the final week you want a couple of more hours, no problem. We can make them up because in the final week I don't think there's any EAP classes. So if you come up to me and say, listen, we kind of want an extra 2 or 3 hours because we feel like we were maybe missed out on 2 or 3 hours, no problem whatsoever. I'll just go, fine, when was your EAP class? We'll just take that time. That's no problem at all. So you just need to let, Adnan, you just need to let me know in the last week if you want me to convert some of those EAP hours into maths or physics. Okay, if you feel like you want it, yeah. But like I said, I'm the only physics teacher, so I'm in demand at the moment with